Welcome back to VetConnect online learning series. In today's topic, we'll be covering VA education benefits. Before we go into the presentation, a quick reminder to please check out the rest of our videos of the VetConnect online learning series. And without further ado, please enjoy the presentation and we hope to see you in the next one.
Hello and welcome to VetConnect Education Benefits. The following slides are designed to help you navigate through both federal and state veterans educational benefits. Here at Madison College, we have 2 school certifying officials. You can reach us anytime by emailing veterans@madisoncollege.edu. Our lead school certifying official is Wendy Stalker. She has been a Madison College employee for 18 years. She previously did 6 years in financial aid and has spent the last 12 as a school certifying official. I am Ryan Murphy. I have been a school certifying official for a year, and I am an Army veteran. The purpose of this PowerPoint is to help students distinguish between federal and state veterans benefits, understand what each benefit will cover, help determine what benefit you may qualify for, learn what documents are needed, and learn about mode of instruction and rate of pursuit. The first thing we will cover is federal education benefits. As you can see, there are several listed here. Chapter 30, Montgomery GI Bill for active duty. This pays a monthly housing allowance only. Now this monthly housing allowance is slightly higher, which will help students pay for their tuition, but all of their tuition costs are expected to be paid out of pocket. Chapter 33, Post 9/11 GI Bill. This is the most frequently used GI Bill that we have. It pays a monthly housing allowance, a book stipend, which is up to $500 a semester or $1,000 a year, and full tuition for all degree credit courses that are a program requirement. Chapter 31, Veteran Readiness and Employment. This one used to be Vocational Rehab, and it recently changed names, so if that's a new name for you, that is why. In order to use Chapter 31, students would have to work with a VR&E counselor in order to utilize this benefit, and it pays tuition and a monthly housing allowance. If you are going to use Chapter 31, we still ask that you let us know, just in order for us to better track your classes and make sure that we certify your classes in a timely manner. Chapter 35, Dependent Educational Assistance. This pays a monthly housing allowance, and once again, you're going to be expected to pay your tuition out of pocket. The Fry Scholarship pays a monthly housing allowance, book stipend, and full tuition at public colleges. And Chapter 1606 Montgomery GI Bill, Selected Reserve, pays a monthly housing allowance. Now at the bottom, it's important to note that all federal benefits require a program of study, and the classes that are enrolled in must be required by your curriculum. If you have any questions about this, you can always reach out to us, and we can let you know if your classes will be covered. Now that we've gone over the federal education benefits, let's discuss the eligibility for these benefits. So for Chapter 30, Montgomery GI Bill, you need to have served a minimum of 2 years on active duty and paid $100 a month for your first 12 months of service. For Chapter 33, Post 9/11, you need to have served on active duty for a minimum of 90 days after September 11th, 2001. And with this, depending on how much time you serve, there'll be a rating attached to your Chapter 33 benefits, which will be the percent of tuition and monthly housing allowance that is covered. Chapter 33, Veterans Readiness and Employment. You needed to receive any discharge other than a dishonorable discharge, and you must have a service-connected disability rating of 10% or greater. For Chapter 35, Dependent Educational Assistance, the service member that the student is receiving benefits under must have died in the line of duty, was or is missing in action or a prisoner of war, or have a service-connected permanent and total disability, which means it does not go away. For Chapter 1606 Montgomery GI Bill, you need a 6-year service obligation to a reserve component of the military. For the Fry Scholarship, you may be eligible if you are a surviving child or spouse of an active duty service member who died in the line of duty on or after September 11th of 2001. The next set of benefits we'll cover are the state education benefits. The first benefit is the Wisconsin GI Bill. The Wisconsin GI Bill is available to eligible veterans and spouses and dependents. It covers program and material fees for degree credit courses, and it does not cover academic achievement fees or any other fees that are attached to your tuition. It is applied to a student account approximately 1 to 2 weeks after the class start date. This just allows us for students to have late adds and drops and to make sure that we catch all of those appropriately. With the Wisconsin GI Bill, you receive 120 credits or 8 semesters. For the National Guard tuition reimbursement, it is available for National Guard members. It cannot be used in association with the Wisconsin GI Bill, and you as the student pay the tuition out of pocket, and then it is refunded after the semester. The eligibility for the Wisconsin GI Bill can be broken down into 2 different parts. So for veterans, you need to be a Wisconsin resident at the time of entry into active military service, or a Wisconsin resident for at least 5 years prior to the start of the semester that you would be using the Wisconsin GI Bill towards. For spouses and dependents, these same residency requirements apply, and the veteran that you're related to must have a disability rating of 30% or greater. Each family member receives their own 120 credits or 8 semesters, and all students using the Wisconsin GI Bill must maintain a 2.0 in order to remain eligible. So for the National Guard tuition reimbursement, that same 2.0 GPA requirement applies for this, and the reimbursement is submitted no later than 90 days from the end of the semester. This is important for you guys as students. You need to make sure that you get that DMA 189 to us in a timely manner, and then once your grades are reported, we submit that DMA 189 as quickly as we can. And then the last requirement is that the student does not have a bachelor's degree. So the state benefits can be used simultaneously with some federal benefits. So for example, we'll see 1606 used with National Guard tuition reimbursement or the Wisconsin GI Bill, Chapter 30 with the Wisconsin GI Bill, and then Chapter 33 students that do not have 100% will use the Wisconsin GI Bill as well sometimes if they're eligible. The next slide we will cover is the forms required. The first form is the Madison College VA enrollment form, and we really like any student that's using education benefits to complete this form. It allows us to begin the certification process prior to receiving any further documentation. Any students that are using federal benefits will need to submit a certificate of eligibility which they receive from the VA. This document will state whichever benefit they're eligible for. And any students that have a DD-214, we will request that you submit one of those for us to keep on file. This will help with determining eligibility for any further benefits. The Wisconsin GI Bill has several forms that need to be turned in. So the first form, 2029, that will be completed and turned into Madison College. There's a second form that goes with it, which is 2030. That form has instructions on how to submit that to the Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs. After you submit that form to the WDVA, they will send us back a Form 2031, which will state if you are eligible for the Wisconsin GI Bill. For spouses and dependents, we need a 5-year spouse independent residency affidavit. It is important that you, as the student, complete this form and get it notarized in order for it to be eligible to be received. And then any spouses will need to submit a copy of your marriage certificate, and any children or dependents will need to submit a copy of a birth certificate. For any students using the National Guard tuition reimbursement, we will need a copy of DMA 189. It's important that you get this form to us as quickly as you can because we have that 90-day window that we need to complete it by. One of the last things that we'll go over is modes of instruction and rate of pursuit. So from left to right, we have online, online live, classroom live, in-person, telepresence, and hybrid. So these are currently our modes of instruction that we offer at Madison College. So online, online live, and classroom live for Chapter 33 students, these classes will be certified as a distance learning class. The in-person and telepresence classes will be certified as in-person, and the hybrid classes will be certified as in-person as long as there is some in-person class time which is required and scheduled. As far as rate of pursuit, this is kind of something that you should work with us to determine, but I guess like a brief explanation of what rate of pursuit is it is the amount of classes that you're in, the amount of credits that you're in over the course of the semester, which determines which percent of your monthly housing allowance you'll get covered. So if you're kind of the best way to look at it is you really only need one in-person class for the entire semester in order to receive an in-person rate, and a full time to get 100% of your monthly housing allowance for Chapter 33 students is 12 credits. So if you have one 3-credit class that's in person, and then 3 3-credit classes that are online, and all of those classes last the entire semester, you will receive the in-person rate. So if you have any questions about what your rate of pursuit may be, please reach out to us, send us an email, and we can calculate this for you. There's a lot that goes into it for if there's breaks in the semester between your classes, or if you have 8-week classes versus 16-week classes. So we just urge you to shoot us an email and ask us what your rate of pursuit is, and we can calculate that for your current semester.